We have
35 on that.
Are you in my class? I've never seen you before.
I'm supporting my friend.
CCHS, somebody
There you go, Laura. Now, I want you to get your head out of the way. We're going to get Laura to come back here in 40 years and see this.
I'm here to see
Brett, I know there's no way you got it. Gary, how high can you get on the ACTs?
In math, on the math section.
Depends on how much money you have.
No, I mean, like, what's the highest?
You can
Don't
get
put
up
that
to
on me.
1,500, I don't know. There we go, there we go.
You can get up to an 800 on the SAT. You can get up to
Let's get Jay on there.
The highest you can get on every 34. Highest you can get.
Stacy over the corner putting makeup on.
23 on English.
This is what we call a class at Cherry Creek. This is what they do every day.
Overall?
We have our black students putting on makeup over the corner. We have half-naked girls
I know.
standing over
Then
there.
your math is one of the worst ones.
That one over here. If somebody sees this, and here we have the real straight and narrows. This is Wesley.
Cap, are those your boots?
That's right. And then we go back to the weirdos. And they're in the back here. It's the first one is Carolyn. Oh, what a sweet smile. And there he is. There's Kevin. Boy, look at that. Look at those muscles. And here's Carolyn picking Kevin's nose.
Rice University in Texas.
You all ready?
Where are you going to come in at? Well, engineering.
Where are you going to come in at? Where are you going to come in?
Hello? I'd puke. That's what I'd do. I'd fucking puke if I had to get a real job. A job where I had to wear a suit and a tie and work business hours. I'd fucking puke. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Billy Idol. Well, my real name's Billy Broad, but none of you shitheads better use it, alright? Anyway, music is my life. I just could not get a real job. Me dad, I remember, really hated rock and roll. I mean, he thought it was shit. It was great. It's really encouraging to have someone there who really hates what you like. It makes you like it more. I remember the first record I ever bought. It was the Beatles' She Loves You. It was the best. Well, I mean, they were the best. Until the Doors came along. I remember the first time I heard Jim Morrison sing, I burned every last Beatles record I owned. Yeah, when I heard them, I knew I had to thrash. My granddad bought me my first guitar when I was 10. I still have it. Well, anyway, I grew up, tried to go to college, it sucked, so I dropped out. Went to the University of Sussex in England when I was 18. It was bullshit. I just had to get out. Doesn't mean I'm stupid, okay? I just had to get something going, you know? I met this guy at a gig in London, Stanmore, a suburb of London. His name was Sid Vicious. Well, I followed him around for a while. He was doing the same thing I was, fucking around, looking for gigs. Well, he got his own band, and I went my own way, got the leather, got my own band when I was 21. Yeah, that's right, Generation X. Well, actually, it was more of a joke than a band, really. We got into punk when it was stupid and unpopular. At that point, people wanted to listen to Journey, Zeppelin, Foreigner, stuff like that. We didn't think there was any money in this. It was a massive joke when we were playing at the Roxy one night, a shabby punk club in London. And record companies were coming up to us and giving us their cards. We didn't give a damn, but hey, they wanted us, right? Punk was coming in. Didn't last for long, though. 3 years and punk was dead. I knew it would happen. It's always been shitty music. Just makes some good points. Gets out your violence and your anger. I mean, hell, it's better to shoot someone in the head, right? Than to thrash on the guitar? Or is it the other way around? Thrash on guitar than to shoot someone you hate in the head, right?
Wrong.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
Boy.
I didn't want to always be known as Billy Idol of Generation X, anyway. I mean, that's just the shits. It's like Paul McCartney, you know? He'll always be known as Paul McCartney, the ex-Beatle. So I got out of it when I could. Got my own deal, met Bill Arcone. So he went on to see what I had to offer. I told him I did not want to do punk. Said he didn't want punk. Said he wanted rock and roll. Well, I never really gave a shit about becoming famous either. I just wanted to play my music, you know? Bill got me out of England and back into America, which is good. Britain can be kind of stuffy about their music sometimes. You Americans have your faults, but you know what the hell you like to listen to, at least. Well, when I signed up with Bill, he introduced me to the most important man in my career, Steve Stevens. Yeah, put him on guitar and rock and roll will not sound stupid and boring, even in this age of high technology music and synthesizers. He helped me with my first EP, Don't Stop. That's when people who'd never heard of me before said, "Oh, I get it, he's heavy metal." Well, you got it wrong, mate. Heavy metal music plods, and my music never plods. I mean, that's just so damn boring. It's fucking dinosaur ignoramus music. It sucks. I was never heavy then, and I'm not heavy now, damn it. Well, anyway, I got by for a while, but nothing really big happened until Rebel Yell. Whoa. Well, I can't believe how fast the publicity jumps on you here. I mean, all of a sudden I had 300 interviews and 30,000 fans, all for doing what I like to do, music. I owed a lot of my success on that album to music videos. And I've been accused for crudeness in my music videos, especially White Wedding. I don't think I'd be as successful today if it weren't for MTV. It's amazing, success. I can't believe it. I went on tour for Rebel Yell and I had teenage bimbos throwing their panties on stage. I never dreamed of such things. And then I disappeared and got bloody hell for it. I mean, what the fuck? I had so many goddamn rumors going around about me. One morning I sat up to read the Post, the New York Post, and discovered I was dead. That's right, fucking dead. The headline read, "Billy Idol dies of AIDS." Well, I was a little surprised, if you know what I mean. I mean, shit, if I'm gonna be dead, I want to be one of the first to know. There was all sorts of crap like that going around. Yeah, I mean, I won't deny I was having a hard time, but I thought it was my own business. I broke up with my girlfriend of 3 years and choreographer Perry Lister, and Bill and I separated over mutual disagreement. I don't think I was dead, though. No, I wasn't fucking dead. People were saying that I got wasted on drugs every day. I mean, it's bullshit, man, the myths that come around when you become famous. Well, let's just set the record straight. I don't do drugs. If you want to go fuck up your mind on it, that's fine, but don't go thinking I do. I get high off my music. I've also been accused for sexual exposure. Is that what you call it? Yeah, that's it, sexually exposing yourself. Well, who's complaining? I mean, hell, I think I get more screams than I do complaints, right? I mean, I was around before that virgin chick ever came out. Yeah, I guess you could kind of call Madonna my female counterpart. I like to show me chest on stage. I got a high sex drive, that's for sure. It's kind of hard, though, you know, with this AIDS crap going around. I mean, everybody's afraid to fuck. You never know who's got it, though. I mean, hey, the Post said I had it, right? Well, here I am. I don't know, people are getting into this thing now where it's only safe to make love to one person at a time. Well, I guess that's fine for some, but not for me. No, I don't think I'll ever want to get married. Marriage is an institution. And I don't want to be in a fucking institution. No, making love means a lot to me. I remember the first time I made love, which song was blaring loudly on the radio. It was Tommy James and the Shondells, Mony Mony. It meant so much to me, I swore one day I'd do a cover on it. That song worked out well for me. Well, I guess America's audiences have finally forgiven me. I suppose I'll get shit on again until I follow up Whiplash Smile, right? But don't think I'm bored, or that I'm through. For God's sakes, don't think I'm dead. How does this sound for fucking dead?
Well,
set
Well, let's
together.
start at the beginning. Can you tell us a little bit about your childhood?
Well, I was born in Michigan, and I was the third kid out of 8 kids. And I was always considered the sissy of the family because I kind of relied on my womanly wiles to get my way. And I remember one time my brothers and sisters hung me on the clothesline by my underwear. But all brothers and sisters do that, don't they?
Oh my gosh, well, how did your interest in music start?
Well, I used to hum to the radio, like The Twist by Chubby Checker. And then I finally got my first record, and I think it was The Letter. But, and my dad also made me take piano, which I hated. But that was how I got started.
Great. Well, is it true that you were originally going to be a dancer?
Oh yeah, after I convinced my dad to let me quit piano, I started writing on dance. And he signed me up for one of those schools that teach ballet, tap, and baton twirling. Well, that turned out to be a hyperactive girls' home, really. But my first real class, I guess, was in high school. I went to one of my girlfriend's ballet class, and so I joined up, and it was real hard for me because I had to work twice as hard because all I had was jazz. And the teacher, Christopher Flynn, convinced me that I should go to New York and I had what it takes to be a star. So I went there and I auditioned and got a scholarship to the Alvin Ailey School, a dance scholarship. And I stayed there about a year, but then I left to move on.
Great. Well, were you always such an extrovert?
Well, yeah, I guess so. I was always trying to think of new ways to get attention and everything. And in 8th grade, I remember in a talent show, I danced around in a bikini and had fluorescent paint all over my body. My dad didn't like that too much, but...
Oh, okay. Well, what was it like to live in New York before you became a star?
Well, besides sharing a room with 100,000 cockroaches and living off popcorn, it was great.
Okay. Well, how do you feel about your film career?
Well, Desperately Seeking Susan was okay. But as for Who's That Girl and Shanghai Surprise, they were almost more embarrassing than any nudie shots. But I don't regret it. I mean, it was a good experience, and I'm glad I did it.
Great. The movies?
Mhm.
Okay, well, were you hurt or embarrassed by the Penthouse and Playboy photos of you?
Well, it wasn't great, but it was real hard for me. At the time I did them, I was starving. I mean, I'd go around in trash cans and go through Burger King bags, and I don't eat the fries, though. I've been a vegetarian for years, so don't pick on vegetarians. And it was real hard, but Sean told me that it'd all boil over and everything would be fine, and he was right.
Good. Well, speaking of Sean, does it bother you that he is sometimes rebellious?
No, not at all, because I know he loves me and he's just trying to protect me.
That's nice. Well, what is this? What is this I hear about a Broadway show?
Oh yeah, Speed the Plow. It's just opened, and I'm playing a real conservative role, and it's different something different for me. It's a challenge, and I like it a lot.
Great.
And everybody come see it.
Okay, everyone, come see her show. Well, thank you so much for coming today.
Oh,
It
sure.
was nice having you. And have you got another song for us?
Sure do.
Great.
Woo! Okay, you're on.
Interesting.
Hello, I'm Gary Hart. I'd like to begin today by telling you a little bit about my past. I grew up in Iowa, where I lived for 18 years, until I moved to New Haven, Connecticut to attend Yale Divinity. After graduating Yale Divinity, I wanted to pursue a career in law, so I attended Yale Law School. After graduating from Yale Law School, I moved to Denver, where I worked for a small law firm by the name of Ireland, Stapleton, Pryor & Holmes. It wasn't until 1970 when I really started my political career. I was a presidential campaign manager for Senator George McGovern. Then, in 1972, I was elected senator for the state of Colorado, where I was labeled a conservative liberal Democrat. In the middle of my second term as president, I tried to gain the Democratic nomination and hoped to become the next president of the United States. My three main proposals at this time were a new economic system combined with industrial modernization, tax simplification, dramatic entrepreneurship, and a greater opportunity in social justice. And a new arms control amendment based on preventing the use of nuclear weapons by the superpowers, by outlaw nations, by nuclear terrorists. And a new arms control amendment and a new look on energy that would prevent our dangerous use on the OPEC system and try to get more from the energy we use. Unfortunately, my dream did not become reality, and I was defeated by the Mondale campaign. But I knew that my political career was not over, because in 1984 I was a newcomer, not very well known, and I knew if I worked harder, I could gain the support and become a front-runner in '88. So I joined more committees. I joined the Senate Budget Committee, the Senate Armed Service Committee, and the Senate Environment and Public Works Committee. And as the election grew closer, I grew stronger. When I polled done on March of 1987, I had over 40% of the Democratic nominations. With 16 months yet till the election, I was gaining more popularity day by day, until Donna Rice. Reporters suggested that I'd spend a passionate evening with Donna Rice. And I refused to submit my family, my friends, and innocent people to further the rumors and the gossip. So on May 8th, 1987, I dropped out of the race. Not because I was guilty, because I felt that after this it would be impossible to discuss the real issues with the voters. And mainly, more importantly, spend time with my family. They're number one in my life. They mean a great deal to me. So I moved back to Denver, where I went back to work and spent time with my family. Then a few months passed, and I felt the candidates were not discussing the issues that were important to the nation and its people. So I discussed with my family the possibility of me re-entering the race before I made any definite plans. We all agreed that we could handle whatever could and probably would come up in the election. So, with my wife on my side at all times, I decided to let the people decide, starting a low-budget campaign to try to regain the 40% of the votes I once had. Unfortunately, I was unable to do this, and I decided the people had decided. So once again, I withdrew my name from the ballot. This time, it was for good. Since then, I've come back to Denver and I'm working in a law firm by the name of Davis, Graham & Stubbs, where I'm living with my wife and my family very happily in our home in Kittredge. Well, that's enough about myself. Now I'd like to talk about you, the students of this country and this country's future. You are having to face some of the most difficult decisions in your life today. Decisions that will more than likely affect your future. College. How many of you plan to go to college? Premarital sex. Drugs. And that's only to name a few. With the right leadership, this country of ours can be so strong. The Reagan administration has the wrong views on so many important issues. John F. Kennedy said it best when he said, "We have the power to make the best generation of mankind, or make it the last." For nearly 40 years, nuclear weapons have rendered war unthinkable. Today, there are people who think they've limited nuclear war, think that can be won. The Reagan administration feels the art of preventing a nuclear war is to keep both sides balanced. So if they have more, we build more. Today there are over 34,000 nuclear missiles in our arsenals. And with this building, we are also building on the national deficit. Today, the national deficit is $2 trillion. That's a 2 with 12 zeros behind it. Something has got to be changed. Our defense focus should be on investment in quality, not just quantity. Buying wisely, not just buying more. Well, this time I'd like to open it up to any questions that you may have for me. Yes.
What do you plan to do for your domestic farm plan? For the farm status right now and how the farmers are doing and they're really hurting, what are you planning on doing for that if you were running for president?
Well, I'm not running for president, but I will. I feel that farmers are not getting a fair price for what they should be. All the tariffs, etc., that the Reagan administration is putting on the grain. Yes.
Do you think you'll run for the presidency in '92?
No, I feel my political career is pretty much over. Yes, fully.
Why would you even risk, I mean, when you knew you were in the spotlight, and you knew that people were watching you, and I mean, you were in such a high place, why would you even risk being caught with her, being seen with her? On the boat, in the hotel, everything.
It wasn't that big of a deal. We were friends. People made it to be more than what it was. Yes.
What's your policy on dealing with terrorists?
You should be shot. No. We should. That's one thing I do like the Reagan administration's policy on that: to be strict with the terrorists and to try to beat them at their own game.
I have a question about how we should start winning the war against drugs. What are your views on that?
That's a very difficult question. Battle on drugs is very big. It's coming from Central America. And
Well, you know, the question, you know, the boat that you are on with Miss Rice has been now confiscated by in Miami for drugs. What do you think about the administration's war on drugs in that they are confiscating all kinds of boats, anything that has any drugs on it at all? Do you think it's constitutional? Do you think that is something that they can do in that area?
it's not something they can do, but it's something that has to be done. Drugs are a big thing in our country, and it has to try and be stopped or slowed down.
Any other questions? Mr. Hart. Yes, one more.
Yes.
What was it like? I mean, you used to be in the spotlight, big politician, gonna run for president, and all of a sudden, that quick, you're an attorney again. How'd you feel about that?
Well, I was sort of gradually. I was always working in the law firm here in Denver, and now I'm just doing it more. And
So you
sort
feel
of-
the pressure's off then?
Yes. I'm not being watched all the time.
I have another question. How do your clients feel when they come in, like, have a personal injury case? How do they feel about you handling their case, being once in the spotlight and accused of having encountered?
They like it. They feel I'm well known. They feel I'm a good lawyer. And they think that I could win their case for them.
On the topic of drugs, do you feel like it's a good idea to try and inform the youth, because they're the ones, the next generation, who are going to make the decision, are they going to do drugs and get involved?
So what was the question?
Are you for informing them about drugs and not to use them, or are you for going out and busting the people right now?
Or informing them on not to use them. Just say no. Very good campaign.
Have you ever used drugs?
I did not answer that question. I'd like to thank you for letting me come speak with you today. If you've learned one thing, I hope you've learned to be happy. Happiness is very important, because ours is the only nation ever to define the pursuit of happiness as a fundamental right.